Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Okay. So there is a new. Okay, it was like let's. Okay, I'll repeat it later. So basically, we're supposed to start environment two from today. But we all know the catch, like because of the system availability for everyone, because you are still able to do it, and Manikonda Radhaji Rakesh, he just vanished, and Uday and Gloria, they are not able to do it at all. So thing is, like for environment too, Unreal is really important, and we are kind of dependent on Unreal in for environment too,
Yeah,
because we
for this one,
create
yeah.
texture for vertex painting, for your procedural map, for all those things, we are going to depend on Unreal. So thing is, because if they are not able to use Unreal or do anything, uh, oh, just give me a second. Huh. So thing is, so instead of like dragging, of course you can ask me all sort of things, all questions on everything, any doubt, your environment, your organic or whatever, that's fine. But instead of dragging environment one, like because it's been more than 1.5 months, so it will be boring. So and honestly, like in my experience, like Mac and Maya both are equally important software. And before joining any studio or anywhere, we should know at least basics of both the software because some studio they use Maya, some studio they use Mac. So we had a meeting and we discussed. So there are around 2 to 3 weeks still there to college to reopen.
Okay.
Okay. So hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Huh. So for that, yeah, so for that, so we have 2 to 3 open. So we cannot just hold you guys in environment one just for sake of like doing repeating things and all. So what we
Okay.
like thought, instead of like wasting time, we can have a what do you call it, like intro to Maya, that is like which is not part of our course or syllabus, but which is like kind of important because if you check online, like half of the artists they work on Maya, half of the artists they work on Mac. So if you know
Okay.
the thing, it becomes easy for you to join in industry because if you have the basic idea of software, so it becomes easy, right? Like skills you understand
Okay.
already, you already have the basic modeling idea, you have texturing idea. So texturing process is same, modeling process is same. Only thing is just a different and the functionality is bit different. UI UX is bit different, and the way you operate it is bit different. So that's why. So that this is what we came to agreement. Like we can have a crash course on Maya, so that you also learn a new software, which is like important. And I guess you might have you remember like for organic there were few classes I used Maya because for organic and other stuff, those kind of stuff, Maya is really handy as compared to Mac. And for UV, for other things, Maya is really fast and efficient. But yes, Macs have its pros and Maya have its own pros. So both the software we should know, and it will give you an edge over other people, like who doesn't know, who knows only one software. You, as suppose you know two softwares, so it will plus a point for you and your portfolio. It will give you edge over other people, and you can like practice and excel any one of them, and then you have more options, more companies to join. Because otherwise Max you have to stick to those companies who uses Mac. But if you know Max and Maya, it's wide and you have more options, more companies to choose from, and so it becomes easy. So plan is I'll give you a crash course kind of it's introduction. Introduction in Maya. So today I'll give you basic interface introduction and all those things. So because this is something today morning only meeting we discussed and finalized. So we didn't have enough had enough time to inform you guys in advance. So today I'll give you only a basic overview and introduction and what plan and what I'm planning and what kind of output we're looking for and what to do and what are the things topics I'll cover in those things. So by tomorrow you can download Maya, anything 2018, 19, 20, 21, anything. Like personally, I
Okay.
prefer to use the latest version. So, I think Maya 20. So you can use 12019 also fine. So anything above 2016 or 17. Reason 2016, 17 and 16, 17 and after all the Maya, there is a huge difference in interface. So use the latest one. So any like 2020, 2021, anything you can use it and then we can check. So I'll give you a basic overview and I guess I have a document on that. So give me a second. Let me check. Give me a second. Let's check where is the document. Oh, there is no document. There is, okay, I need to modify this one. So this is basically not part of normal of our regular curriculum and all. So I'll give and like what we are expecting. Like I'll show you something. We'll start some prop. So I'll select some prop in that later, but I'll give you a basic intro to Maya. And in Maya, we can create hard surface model. We can create organic also. Maya have a modeling toolkit separate where you have a lot of like options. Plus we have like unwrap and all is Maya in Maya is very fast and very efficient. There are like few things. So if suppose you are working on your personal project, you can use both the software, switch between the software and create something really nice very easily. So it's Maya, I just open Maya. Okay. So by default, when you open Maya, this is how your window looks. So like by default, this is like kind of same for all the software. So this window is not the same. This is not the same. I'll just switch off there. Yeah. By default, it looks like this. So this one is your viewport perspective. You can see there's written perspective. This is your viewport. And like Maya viewport navigation is different and Max viewport navigation is entirely different. If you have used Unreal, so it will be you to handle it because the navigation of Unreal and Maya is kind of similar. So if you press middle mouse button, nothing happens. If you press left mouse button, nothing happens. It just gives you the selection. If you press right click, you have this option. In Maya, most of the options, most of the toolbar, menu, and everything either under right click or under space bar. If you press space bar, you can see you have so many options. These are the exact same options here. So it becomes really handy if you really quickly switch between software, switch between tools. It becomes very easy. So you can press only spacebar, click and remove. You basically switch between your 4 window view to one view. Like same like all W in Max, you have spacebar only. If you hover over top, press spacebar, it will maximize the top view, front view, side view, or perspective. Just spacebar. It's very easy, very simple, but navigation is bit different from your Mac. So these are the main difference. Like your navigation is a bit different. Then your options are a bit different. So this is how it works. But Christopher, how to change the view or rotate or pan? How to do it here in Maya? If you do middle mouse button, right click, because you don't have all these options. Nothing changes here. For moving anything in the viewport, you have to press Alt and middle mouse button to pan. Alt middle mouse button to pan. Alt right click, zoom in, zoom out, or scroll in or scroll out. Zoom in, zoom out, scroll in, scroll out. Then suppose you want to rotate, Alt left mouse button. This is how you navigate, and this is your grid. And Maya viewport is really good as compared to Mac. It gives you very good quality preview of your model, texture, and everything. So like once you start working with, and Maya doesn't have an orthographic view. It has presets of top, front, side, left, right, bottom. Orthographic view definitely have that. It have that, but you cannot modify this. It doesn't have a separate orthographic view. It have only a perspective view separate, and these are fixed. These are fixed. You cannot change or modify it. But if you want to change the like this thing, four view, you can definitely change it from here, left side menu. This is four view. If you want to click this, just click this, just click and maximize or space bar. Click again, nothing happens. Click on this, four view. Then this is for outliner. Like it's two view, four view, and this is for this outliner. Outliner where all the things are visible from this window. And now you have an outliner in Mac also, which wasn't there previously. It's they because Autodesk acquired Maya and Mac both, so they implemented outliner from Maya to Mac because it's really handy and easy to operate. If you can click on this, it will switch off the outliner. Click on this, switch on outliner. It's really handy. You have all these four cameras. These are default cameras. You cannot delete, cannot modify, cannot do anything. So these are fixed. So let's space bar, open, left mouse button, drag. This is how it works. Then now left side, you have this is your select option, the select tool. Then you can see this is also select tool but lasso. This is your paint selection. This is your move, rotate, scale. Same like Mac, and shortcut are WER, say exactly same. There is no difference. In WER are like a universe, like all irrespective of the software are common to all the software. Every software has the same setting for move, rotate, and scale, except I guess Blender. So now in Maya main interface, left side, this is your outliner. Everything in your scene will be visible here. The extreme left is basically your selection tools and rotate, scale, and viewport. Right side are basically your properties or all the modification you do. Right side is for those things. Left side is for selecting things. Right side is for modifying your things, like maybe scale up, scale down, or like your orientation you want to change or something. For those things is right side. So I'll get to this thing. I'll explain all this thing. What are these things and all these things. So Maya in Maya, basically you have this typical menu here, and you can see under this you have this modeling option. So if you click on this, you can see rigging, animation, effects, rendering. It basically gives you a preset like required for those things specifically. If you click on rendering, you can see instantly this menu change. Rigging, again change. Animation, again change. Effects, change. So it's basically a modeling again chain. It basically gives you specific options to edit those things and keep your windows and everything optimized. Because like suppose you are doing only modeling, you don't need all those rendering options. You don't need all those hair and fur or FX options. It makes your system heavy. So it can optimize it by selecting the specific mode and start working on that. So this is something really handy in Maya. It gives like suppose you are confused like where to go, so you can select like suppose you want to rendering. You can select this so you can see all the specific rendering options only. No modeling options, no other options. Though all the options are here also shortcut this ribbon you can see this ribbon, this particular window section is for curved surface, polymodeling, sculpting, rigging, animation, rendering is effects, effects caching, custom, Arnold, Mask, everything is there. This is a handy toolbar for all the like options to use most of the time. For those things, these options are like a kind of default shortcut. Like it's like preset, it's all shortcuts, and you can create use this to create this thing. No need to go to create and find that particular tool. You just simply click here and create this. And most of the time, for this introduction, we will be using poly modeling. No curve. Yes, of course we can use curve modeling and all, but we will be using poly modeling. And because Maya works on polygons and it creates poly models, like in Max, we start with spline modeling, right? But in Maya, usually we work on poly modeling, and 99% time we'll be doing poly modeling only because that is our end goal. Like even if you start with spline modeling and all, we gradually move to poly modeling to create complex objects, right? So that's why uh, we create all these options with the help of this. Then you have all these options. This is your open. So this is your new file, new scene. Basically, any scene is it's a scene. So new scene, open scene, save scene, undo, redo. All these options. So these are basically you select by hierarchy. Like suppose you have hierarchy. Hierarchy is suppose you have an asset and then you have sub asset under that, like under that folder. So that time you can select the entire hierarchy, select one object or like what you want to select. Selection. These are like your snapping tool, like snap to grid, you have snap to curve, you have snap to points. These are like all presets. And you just have to like in Max, you have to go to the snapping tool, right click and switch on that option, right? Here you just have to click this and snap it. That's it. It's very straightforward and quick. Then live surface, suppose you have a model and you already have a pre-made model or a downloaded model or a high poly, and you want to create a low poly on that. You just click on a live, make it live, and then start working on that. Again, that is something I have showed. It's the same thing we did in Max step build up, step by step build. Like same thing. This is we use this and create our model. Then you have symmetry on off. You can switch it like switch here on off like what kind of symmetry you want. XYZ like object XYZ or world XYZ. That is something you can change it from here. These are all rendering options, and this is your like if you have a login, it will show you login. And these are your modeling tools and properties and attributes. So if you click on the first option, it gives you a modeling toolkit where you have combined, separate, boolean, smooth, and extrude, bevel, all these basic modeling options. Then you have this rigging skeleton option, which is we're not going to use. Then you have this is a property option where you suppose you have anything in your scene. Like let's click this sphere, it will generate a sphere. The moment you generate, it's selected, it will show you all the properties, all the attributes related to that particular object. So So this is something, this comes with this third option. The show height attribute editor. This is basically attribute editor where you have all the attributes, all the properties, all the settings, everything here. So you can see in this also you have multiple tabs. Last one, it says Lambert. Lambert is a shader, and it by default, whatever you create in Maya, it have applied Lambert 1, which is you cannot delete. So we cannot delete or modify or rename. So this is something Lambert 1. So and 99% time, whenever you're creating anything or modifying anything, we don't use Lambert 1 until and unless that model is gray and there is nothing applied on it. So we usually don't use, we avoid using Lambert 1. Then you can see there are like lots of groups. This is your material setting. Then you have polysphere, like setting. It's a polysphere. Radius is 1, subdivision level X 2020. If you want to modify, then modify. It's a slider. So this becomes really handy and easy. Radius, increase, decrease. You can modify it from here or Control A. It will give you this sphere, P-sphere, polysphere properties where you have scale option, rotation option, visibility option, translate option. Visibility means show or hide. If I click on this 0, it will hide. 1 and enter, it will be visible. Like this, you can change scale, select all, modify, it's up to me, 0.5 or maybe 1. Or suppose I want to modify only X, 0.5, like this. In one axis, I can modify. Then rotation XYZ, translate XYZ. Then before editing anything, if you want to modify, you have the exact same settings, whatever we have modified in that parameter. You have this polysphere inputs, all the inputs here also. 20, 20, and radius is 5. And if you create UV is already there. If you don't want to create anything, you can switch it off, pinch at pole, and you can see they have sawtooth pole. There are like two different kind, two presets of UVs are there. I'll show you like how to set the UV. So in poly modeling, these are your primitive shapes. Then you have this like it's a platonic polygon, like where you can create all the shapes. Then you have this kind of surface, like kind of a plane, where you can modify things based on your requirement. Then text. So all these things you can see, you can create all these things. You can import a vector shape and change it. This is your center pivot. This is your property. This is a delete by history. And like in Maya, there is one major difference from Max to Maya. Whenever you modify your model, it creates a history and store the entire history in your file. So time to time, you have to go and clear your history. Otherwise, it might corrupt your file or it might make your file really heavy and really difficult to work on. So time to time, like I'll show this how it works. Right now, there is no history. I selected this face, W, pushed it. Then let's see one vertex, pushed it, modified it, and then suppose I select this, shift, and everything, all the options are in right click or shift right click, control right click, or alt right click. Shift right click, extrude face. I can control, like I can modify with this option, properties, this option, or I can simply click on this and like modify, see, with this slider or with this, see, I can modify this thing very easily. It's kind of really handy. So, like I can create, let's create multiple system tool and just create a multiple tool. Right click, object mode. Select anything. And now you can see under input, you have multiple options. You can see first option was polysphere. Then I tweaked it. I just tweaked it manually. Then I have extruded. You can see extruded options, all the setting, like what I have extruded. It stores entire history. Like suppose I want to change it to 4, 4, 4. Nothing happens here. Reason, top of it, I have another extrude, then I have another extrude. If I switch this and modify this thing, nothing will happen, but it basically gives you a history, like what you have modified. Suppose I want to recreate this thing, exactly same thing. I can just simply take a sphere, check this history, and repeat it. So that's why there is a history, and 99% time we use Maya for production most of the time, for movies, for cinema, for TV shows and all. Reason, we can always duplicate, copy paste your history and everything. It makes your life way easier. Like that is something maybe for you now you feel okay. What is the use of this? But once you start working on production and you have to recreate the same model, same setting, same size repeatedly multiple times, that time it become really handy because you have those numbers, you have those values. Either you can just copy paste or you can just simply check that and input those things in your model. So it makes life way easier. Then once you modify that, select your file and you need to clean your history. So you can see there is an option delete by type history, delete construction history on the selected object. If you click on this, it will delete all the history. It's all clean. There is no issue, no error, nothing. Then it was a construction history. It wasn't your translate history. See, you can see all the translation is part of this. So if you want to remove this translate, you have to freeze it. You have to freeze the translation value. Go to like modify, freeze translate. It will make everything 000. So by default, it will store all the history and everything and keep it there. So like you can always like go back and check it and modify it, or before finalizing your model, freeze everything, delete all history, and restore everything. So like this, we modify in this thing in Maya, and then okay, let's undo it. Undo. And Maya symmetry works beautifully. That's like one of the best symmetry you can see. So right now symmetry is off. If I want, I can switch on from here. X symmetry. You can see instantly it shows here. Or I can use or switch on instead of going here. I can use, or switch it on with the help of Control Alt together. Right click. Oh, sorry, Control and Shift together and right click. You see, Control right click is different option. Shift right click is different option. Control Shift is a different option. Initially, it might feel way too intimidating and way too complex, but once you start working on this, it becomes really handy and you feel it's way faster. So Control and Shift together, symmetry and symmetry. You can switch on your symmetry, you can change your axis, object mode, topology mode, world mode, you can change that also. So everything is right click, Symmetry, one drag, another drag. Symmetry is on. Now, I just select, you see, symmetry is clearly visible. It works perfectly on your extrude, your, you see, perfectly works on your extrude, perfectly works on your, like all the things. And suppose you want to repeat your last command, press G, see, and if you see key spaces is on, I can switch it off, create this very easily, division. I can click left mouse button, increase, decrease division, click on this, sorry, my bad, increase, decrease, offset. It makes like you can create things very easily, retranslate, change it. So you can see like same thing, like it's kind of same as Mac, where you have those setting option and you can modify all the options. Here everything like whatever you create, like you have edge mode. Like in Mac, you don't you have to press 1, 2, 3 and switch between this thing. Here you have to right click edge mode, edge, right click vertex mode, vertex, right click. You have a UV mode also. You just select the specific UV and go to UV editor and modify it. It makes your life way easier and simple. And this UV editor is really powerful and it gives you a lot of functionality and it's really easy to handle and create anything. So, so this is these are like UVs. These are like these basically I forgot to explain. This is your combine. This is your separate. Suppose you want to separate a model, or suppose I want to separate the space only. I can separate it. Like extract this thing. Then you have symmetry, mirror. So this is symmetry and mirror are different. Symmetry, it's a mode where you create everything in symmetry. Mirror, you just click it and it will mirror your model. That's it. Then this is smooth. Basically, if you click on smooth, you see whatever is selected, it will smooth that section only, or select the entire model, smooth it. It will smooth the entire model. Smooth is basically kind of a turbo smooth. Then you have a reduce, but this reduce doesn't work beautifully all the time. So personally, I don't use it. Then you have this flip, remesh, and then you have your retopo. So collapse the shoulders, match edge. So you can like in ZBrush, you have this remesh option, exact same thing you have in Maya also. You can decimate, like you can reduce or increase poly count. You have this option of remesh and retopologize, where you can recreate your entire model and change the this thing, entire shape. I'll show you with the help of a some other object, crop. That will be much easier to understand. Okay, let's see. So here I have there are two separate more like mesh. Shift, select both of them, combine it. So once you combine, you can just simply you can see retopologize. But for retopologize, you need to see I can do it. It will retopo the entire model, but it won't combine the model mesh. So what I have to do is first remesh it, then retopologize. So basically combine this. You can see now this loop all these things are way better and nice. Double click, it still separates, it keeps everything separate nicely. So, like kind of you have Boolean and pro Boolean, it's like that only. Suppose select this and push it out. And now I want to uniformly distribute all my polygons really quickly, and I need to get rid of all these unnecessary parts. And then select this and this. Let's see. It most of the time it works beautifully, but if we might give some like this kind of unevenness, that is something we have to manually fix. But it most of the time it works perfectly, almost perfectly. So it becomes very easy to control and create any shape very easily. So redistributed entire model, everything is quad and clean. It becomes very easy to recreate any model or retopo any model. It becomes really easy and handy. So like this, you can create all shapes. So these are like you have a basic shape, primitive shape, and then you start building a model. And you, all these options extrude, then you have bridge, then you have bevel, you have merge, you have the merge to center, all these like same option as in Mac. But these options we'll be using very few times. Most of the times we'll be using like double click this, merge edges, like to right click, multi-cut, delete edge like this. We'll be using it like this most of the time to make it way faster. Like I'm doing it really slow, right click, shift. I can do it really like I can just simply do it like this. See, very quickly. That I don't even I'm not even giving the giving that pop up to pop up. So I can do it really quickly. Cut tool. You can see it like anything. It's kind of handy. And like once you start working on this, it becomes very easy and handy. So I'll select a prop. We won't create anything very complex. I'll select a prop and create that prop, and we'll try to create something very nice and realistic looking on like good, nice looking. Like something similar. I have time, right? Just give me a second. I'll show you. Like for my previous class for Maya, like some other BFA batch, I have created one this thing. I'll show you. Oh, no, not this thing. You can see for my previous class, I have created this. Here are the material. So if you see, it's a kind of low poly model. I guess you guys might have seen this class. And I have nice render of this, I believe. Yeah, you see. So I've created this thing in Maya and textured in Substance, and it's kind of easy, not very complex.